In this episode of Viral Rewind, we're looking at a subvariant of the Abraxas virus called the EDWIN-Cleton virus. Now, there's two variants of this subvariant. There's the 1508 and the 1518, which is the one we're looking at. It can be seen from the directory listing there. Now, Cleton, again, being a subvariant, follows pretty much the same stuff as what Abraxas does, but it has a whole different kind of payload compared to what Abraxas does. So, like Abraxas, when we run the EDWIN-Cleton virus, it will automatically launch its payload. It's a non-memory resident file infector, so it only infects whenever it's executed, and it does have a graphical and musical payload, just like Abraxas did. Again, it's a subvariant of Abraxas, so it's basically just a modified form of it. Now, for context, it does change around one file. We have command.com. I guess I did not actually copy it to the C, so let me do that real quick. So actually I can show it right here. We normally have command.com being 37,856 bytes. I'm going to go ahead and copy that to the root directory, which should have it there now. And so yes, it's in the root directory now. What happens when we run the EDWIN-Cleton virus is, one, it will try to take a file out of the current directory that is run and infected and then copy it up a directory or something like that, but it will also try to infect command.com in the root directory if it's present. Now, if command.com is not in the root directory for some reason, then it will automatically go ahead and create it. However, it of course will be a copy of the EDWIN-Cleton virus. So we go back to our temp directory. Pull up Cleton. So there's the virus, and we're going to go ahead and run it. So we get this big ASCII 2 printout that says, "I am the EDWIN-Cleton virus, and I love a good hard drive." Get a rod just thinking about it, with hard being in quotation marks that are flashing and EDWIN-Cleton flashing there, but of course this is all ASCII 2 art, and then it returns us to the DOS prompt, which you can kind of see at the top there. And the interesting thing is that the coloring left over from the EDWIN-Cleton payload overlays on top of the DOS text there, so we get all its colors and flashing effects briefly. But now the EDWIN-Cleton virus has been run once, so it's automatically initiated its payload, which we saw there, but also its file infection. So let's go back to C and look at command.com. And you see command.com is now the same file size as the Cleton was. See, command.com and Cleton are the same size, so Cleton has done its work and overwritten command.com in the root directory with a copy of itself, which means that if we run command.com, either manually or if the computer were to boot with it, we get the payload again. And really, aside from that, there's not much else to the EDWIN-Cleton DOS virus. Again, a subvariant of the original Abraxas virus.